Hey everyone, it's Matt with Explore the World with Matt. We're going to explore a little closer to home just because this new trail has opened up just a couple miles from my house. Uh, I live in the Lexington, South Carolina area, and this is the Mill Pond Trail. And as we go around, I'll give you some of the features of the area, but it's almost in the middle of downtown, and it's right next to an old mill that's been converted into shops, restaurants, and there's 2 brew pubs in there as well. So it's just kind of a fun area of town to hang out, and now we can get a little exercise while we're here too. With no further ado, I'm going to turn the camera around and let you see what I can see as I walk around the pond. I mean, that's the whole trail. It's a little dark, but hopefully you can see what it is. But it goes all the way around the pond. You can see the parking areas. And 1.15 miles. I'm going to go around it twice, but I'm only going to record it once for you. We are currently basically up at the top of the sign under the word pond, and that right at the edge of that parking lot, right up against the pond right there. But we're going to head off into the trail. Town of Lexington, I don't know the exact population, but it's a basically a bedroom community of the Columbia, South Carolina area. It's growing, lots of businesses, lots of services in the area. But to have something like this right in the middle of downtown basically is really nice. Look across the pond here a little bit. I'll keep giving you shots across just so you can see what I can see. If I just wanted to sit there and enjoy the view, there are several park benches scattered throughout the path. I was originally planning to walk the path with my camera and let you see what I saw for the first time, which was 2 days ago, but I forgot to bring my GoPro. So I'm back today, but the weather is almost nice. It's around 60 degrees, and considering how cold it's been lately, I'll take 60 degrees. I think they've done a good job of hiding these light posts on the trail to give light as it gets darker. I haven't been here at night, but like most communities, I don't know how much walking you should do when it's dark. But as you can see on this light post here, there are security cameras, so somebody's watching, or at least recording it. How you doing? Now on this post on top of the security cameras, you can see that there are emergency phones, and I've seen some of those scattered around the trail when I was here 2 days ago. In my regular life, I'm a first responder, so That is obviously the access point in case emergency vehicles need to get in here. But it basically says for everyone else to keep out of there. You can see the pond starting to peek through again. There is a small island in the middle of this pond, which I don't know if you're allowed to bring a canoe and canoe out there or something, but otherwise it's pretty inaccessible unless you can walk on water. Being that it's a weekday, and this is only my second time being here, and the other day was a weekday too, I've seen a small number of people here during the day, but I imagine on the weekends it's a little busier. Looking back across the pond, you can see the old mill with the restaurants and the brew pubs. That's one of the brew pubs with all the windows and the patio overlooking the pond. Back across over there, we'll walk past it in a little while. Those are apartments where a lot of them have a view of the pond. And an actual residential neighborhood with homes is being constructed over there. So I'm sure there'll be at least some homes with a good view of the pond. They did a nice job constructing several bridges, obviously to keep us from having to walk on water, but gives the park a nice look. Off to the right is one of the busier roads heading into downtown Lexington. So you can see there's a fair amount of traffic, and there is a parking lot over here where you can park and start your walk over here. This bridge appears to have lighting strips underneath the railings all the way down, so imagine at night this lights up rather nicely. tend to be I guess you would say a fast walker. I usually walk between 3 to 4 miles an hour. Now there was a sign back there said no diving or swimming. I don't know how many people really want to swim in that, but I guess if you really want to, who's going to stop you? I mean, I guess with the cameras, they'll see you and they'll come get you. So now we're up close against the homes that are under construction over here. If you look across the pond that way, you can see one of the downtown churches sticking up over the trees. As we get up here, you can see across the pond again off, turn to the left a little bit, and you see the county administration building. And right next to it is the courthouse, which is a little shorter, so you can't see that. And that's the edge of the downtown area. When this neighborhood's built, it's going to have its own access to the trail, but obviously it's a dead end right now. Here's a little better shot of the admin building. Right across the pond there, you can see the concrete coming down, so there is a boat ramp. I suspect that's more for emergencies, I just don't see where there's anything saying you can bring your own boat and put it in the pond. I could be wrong. You can see a good little breeze pushing the water across the pond right now. As we get to the apartment complex, there's an entrance for people to the complex to access the trail directly as well, coming up here on the right. And in several places they have the trash cans and the baggies to collect your animals' excrements. told you it was 60 degrees. In the shade it gets a little chillier, especially since there is a breeze. So I'm glad I wore a little light jacket. And this park is owned and it was built by the Town of Lexington, so this is a town park. Well, there's plenty to do in the Columbia area. Lexington's lucky to have a bunch of restaurants, a bunch of different ethnicities, and they're all really good. There's a fantastic Irish pub, there's an Indian restaurant, there's a Cajun Southern fusion restaurant, a couple great Mexican themed restaurants. Even a couple newer restaurants that haven't been around long enough to say, but a new chop house opened up recently, and I tried it once, and it was good, but we got to try one thing, so I'll have to go back to try more things. Being a large complex, there's a second access to the apartments at this end. Up here, is the water gate for the pond, and I'll show you the rapids on the other side as soon as I get to the bridge. Telling you there was two brew plugs in the old mill. There's the second one down there with the yellow umbrellas. That's the Hazelwood Brewery. And up top is the old mill brew pub. And come back across the pond again. Now, if you're at all familiar with the Columbia area, in 2015 we had what was called the 1,000-year flood, and lots of roads, bridges, and things were taken out. This dam that I'm walking on right now got washed out, and and flooded this whole area. And there used to be a distillery attached to the building down there, and it got washed away. It belonged to a friend of mine, and unfortunately he wasn't able to recover from the destruction, but he tried, but it didn't work out. But he did make some great moonshine. Here's a little bit of history about the mill itself. Come in close so you can pause the video if you want to read any of this. Hey, how you doing? You got a better water view of beer cellar.
What's that?
I said you got a better water view at the beer cellar.
You do.
We're coming back up to the boat ramp where I started. But I'm going to stop the video now, and I'm going to keep walking.